President Museveni has opened the first meeting of the fourth session of the 11th Parliament of Uganda at Kololo Independence Grounds after giving his State of the Nation address. He emphasized the 3 historical missions and 4 NRM ideological principles, which include prosperity, patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation and democracy. The main issue that caught the attention of members of Parliament was his statements on corruption, where he said he had been hearing about a racket from the Minister of Finance, Parliament and accounting officers of different ministries. State Minister for Finance in charge of general duties, Henry Museveni, said the genesis of the problem is accounting officers going to Parliament to ask for more money than the ministry had appropriated, which affects the intentions of the budgets.
Today the President has come out strongly to condemn this practice, and I'm sure he knows the people behind it, as he has emphasized, and now we await for the practical steps. Now that he has guided, for us definitely we are going to start the implementation, because we already have the crews.
Members of Parliament and religious leaders had mixed reactions to this issue, with some interpreting the President's statement of amnesty as taking action.
Initially trying to say, should we give them amnesty? And I'm glad that he threw the question to us as members of Parliament. And when we said no, he said, okay, you will see blood. So for us now, we want to see blood, which means we want to see action.
The word amnesty, the whole congregation was against amnesty. However, we think that there can be so many approaches. 1, amnesty. 2, prosecution. But all in all, corruption requires an iron hand to drive it out, because this...
He has given us an example of one of his aides or his workers in State House who was arrested because of soliciting and extorting money from people who wanted to see the president. So at least this time around we are confident that he's going to start acting.
To send as a religious leader to our people that let us not put ourselves number one. Let's put ourselves behind, and let's put others, serving others and other people benefiting number one.
On the types of corruption mentioned by the President, some MPs and religious leaders say that a mistake can also be dishonesty.
A mistake, the issue of dishonesty, yes, mistakes are small things, but when they are big issues, where people sit and give money to themselves, that cannot be a mistake.
Of mistake has to be really understood and measured. To what extent? There could have been dishonesty behind the mistake. And so if that mistake falls under dishonesty, I would pray that that person would be dealt with accordingly by the law.
Mistakes people make. And you see that the intention is not really to cheat the country, but you have made mistakes. There are many. There are many if you look at what has been going over the years. Such a people can be cancelled, can be advised.
He has stated those areas. He knows them, he has the proof. It is incumbent upon us to choose fire and leave it to the highest authority to now proceed with all that he has within his disposal.
The President directed the Attorney General to guide the Minister of Finance on how to criminalize the extortion of money lenders through high interest rates. Museveni says there is a law in place, but they need to come up with rules and regulations.
What we are looking at, there are still options, but we are saying, is there a way we can make rules or regulations to limit interest to a certain level? Say if you have borrowed 10 million and you are to be charged interest, should this interest not exceed, say, 60% of the principal? So these are the things we are looking at.
Some MPs reacted to this, saying the fourth session of Parliament needs to prioritize amending laws to address this extortion.
This should be the first mandate of bills presented on the floor of Parliament to discuss new laws of how to deal with money lenders, so that our people are saved from people who sell their property, hiding through agreements they have made with the people.
It would be good if we had this in place, and we are looking forward. I hope that the government can fast track this, specifically the Attorney General can fast track the amendment so that we have the law in place. Short of a law, You cannot really stop anyone from attaching whatever interest rate they want to put. It is their money. So
He has a point. Not only money lenders, but if you look at all financial institutions, the interest they charge in relation to the inflation rate is really very high.
I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Ogwetabinji at Kololo.